All right. Anil, can you see my screen?
Did not. Yep, now I can.
Awesome, awesome. So for those of you who I have not had the pleasure of connecting with yet, my name is Vanessa Duplessie, and I am a trainer and a teacher in the networking and online space, and technology stuff is really my forte. So tonight, I am going to take you through a component of technology that I believe is critically important to your business. And I'm going to go ahead and close out of Facebook here. I am going to go over to my favorite little place called Google. And Google is where I do a lot of searching for items. What I want to share with you tonight is going to be related to autoresponders, and it's going to be related to what they are, how you can use them effectively, as well. I'm going to show you how to work within one particular autoresponder so that you can get a feel for how simple it is to move around the interface, basically. Anil, I think we've got an echo. If you would mute, that would be awesome, and then I'll pull you back out in a little bit.
I have muted already. I'll see where the noise is coming from.
It could be
Okay,
me.
awesome. Diane, it could be you. So what I have up on the screen is just a very simple, if you ever want to find anything, go to Google. And I typed in, what is an autoresponder? And it comes up with a fancy little description here, a noun. It says it's a program that automatically generates a set response of messages to a particular email address. Well, that's fine and dandy, and it's kind of a technical definition. I view an autoresponder as a way that I, as one person, can effectively communicate with more than one person at a time. I can communicate with 2 people at a time, 20 people at a time, 100 people at a time, 1,000 people at a time. And in this day and age where we all seem so time-strapped, wouldn't you think it'd be a lot more efficient if you can communicate with multiple people at one time? I think so, and I know a lot of marketers do as well. And so that's what we're going to talk about tonight, how you can become a better networker and effectively communicate with more people. Because the more people that you connect with and the more people that you touch, the more your business has the opportunity to grow. So that is kind of what we're going to talk about, and I'm going to show you why it's important and how easy it is to use the functionality within an autoresponder. Now, there are multiple different services out there. I'm going to show you a couple of them, and then I'm going to go into one of my accounts, and I'm going to do some navigating. The navigating is pretty similar in each of the different autoresponder platforms that you can run on the internet. And so what I show you in one is more or less transferable into the others. They might have it in a different spot, or it might be called something a little different, but it'll give you a feel for it. So here is what I'm going to share. There's a company out there called MailChimp. MailChimp is a very effective and cost-effective tool. It is one, it's becoming a more prominent autoresponder. It used to be back in the day that the main two were AWeber and GetResponse, unless you had a super duper a lot of money and you were going to buy something like Infusionsoft, or you were going to buy something like Marketo, which are these huge, big corporate type platforms that do the same thing. So if you think about it, if you are on Home Depot's newsletter list, if you are on Target's home and business newsletter, if you are on Lowe's, I do a lot of Lowe's, if you are on the Gap, if you get something from Old Navy in your inbox, those are all autoresponders. Corporations have used autoresponders for years. And we as individual entrepreneurs have now the good fortune to be able to use this functionality in our business in a super simple way. So this one here, MailChimp, has an entrepreneur package. So if you are someone who is just getting ready to maybe dip your toe into communicating with more than one person at a time, this is a great program. You can have the entrepreneur package for free. And for most people in 1 month, they don't send more than 12,000 emails to 2,000 subscribers. It's basically saying if you built this repository of 2,000 people on your newsletter list, you can mail them 6 times a month for free. So if you have 100 people that you email every day, you're still free. And so that's why I like MailChimp. I like MailChimp for someone who's just starting out who wants to get going. And that's something I want to share with you there. Another one is called iContact. This is another one that I use. This one is a little bit more corporate-y orientated, and it is a definite, they have different features and functionalities that it might be something, if you're a little bit more of an advanced user, you want to check out iContact. My recommendation for you, if you're listening here today, is to make sure you get back with the person who referred you here if you don't have an autoresponder and you want to learn more, because they can help guide you in what might be good for you. It may be that you want iContact. It may be that MailChimp's better for you. And then third, and the one that we're going to work on tonight, is called Aweber. Aweber is one that's been around for a very long time. It was my very first autoresponder back in 2000. Let me think about this, 4 or 5 years ago, 2009. It was where I started. It wasn't quite where I necessarily stayed. I do use Aweber, but I do use the others as well. I've got multiple different lists that I run for different things, and that is what, you know, it depends on what you want to do. So we can help you with that. But right now, I'm going to check the Q&A area. If you guys have any questions, please pop them in the Q&A area, and I'll be checking that as I go along, because I'm going to get into some technical stuff here. If you're you know, confused at any point, just let me know. So right now, I think we're cool on questions, so let's get into it. This is generally what you're going to see when you come into an autoresponder. You're going to have an area that's going to tell you about your subscribers that you have today. If you had subscribers yesterday, if you had any unsubscribed, if you have your total subscriber number, you're going to have a place for messages, you're going to have a place for forms, and you're going to have a place for reports right across the top. Now, I'm going to basically go through and set up a new list right in front of your eyes to show you how simple and how quick it can be. Pretty much, we're going to come in and we are going to, let's see, where do I want to go? We're going to come in and we're going to go to Create and Manage Lists. And you're going to come in here, and then you're going to, at the very top, it's going to say Create a List. Big green button, so I'm going to create a list. Once I create a list, I'm going to give the list a name. I'm going to call this Vanessa's Test. And when I click to the next line here, if it's available, you'll see here it says List Name Available. You're going to give the list a description. I'm going to call it Vanessa's Newsletter. You can call it, you can call it Vanessa's Marketing Tips, Vanessa's Team Newsletter, because we're going to talk about how you can use the autoresponder with your team and not just with prospects. You're just going to give a little description so that when the person gets an email, when they sign up, they're going to see what it is. So this is going to say Vanessa's Newsletter. You generally have your name and an email associated with the list. You have a contact address. You are required to put a physical address into your autoresponder account. You can set up to receive notifications so that every time someone joins that particular list, you'll get a little note that says who they are and what their email is. So I'm going to just type in my email, and I'm going to hit Add. And then I'm going to continue through the setup process. I hit Save Settings. I'm a big fan of the big Save button. I always save just so I'm notorious for messing things up, and I always want to save. So then I come back up here, and we had just completed Step 1, Basic Settings. Now we're going to go Personalize the list. And we're going to do Step 2. So in here, I'm going to type in my name of my company. If I am an individual, you might just put your name here. I have a website, so I use my website as my company name, as well as then I put the link to that website. If you don't have a website, again, you can just put your name there. If you have a company name, you can put your company name. Then, just like you would have on your personal email account, you want to put an email signature for people to contact you. I normally, and I'm not going to actually, I normally put my name, I put my phone number, I put my email address, I sometimes, depending on the list, might put my Skype information, and then I might actually put maybe my YouTube link to my YouTube page. I might put my Facebook in here. You can have your signature have whatever it is that you want to point people to, because when they get an email from you and they read through the email and they get to the bottom of the page, you want to make sure you give them opportunity to connect with you outside of that email. So for me, I want them to go check out, my YouTube. I want them to go check out my Facebook. Maybe I want them to, maybe my LinkedIn profile is where I really want them to go. Maybe I want them to add me on Twitter. That is, very, very simply added to your email signature here. Then any email that you send out will be able to have that in it at the swipe of a button, which I'll show you when I go to create a message. Social media and sharing, you can set it up so that you can have the email that you send out to subscribers on the list get added to either your Twitter or your Facebook account. So if you're doing a marketing message, you will say, yeah, I want this message in particular to go out to that Twitter list or that Twitter account, and it'll populate it for you. So pretty simple. Lots of pages for me to choose from. We don't need to worry about global snippets. That's not something I use very often. And then we're going to hit Save Settings. Huge fan of Save. Now I'm going to go back up to the top. It makes me go back up to the top. It doesn't just forward me along. I'm going to do number 3 now. We did number 1. We're on number 2. Now I'm going to number 3. Confirmed opt-in. Confirmed opt-in, what this is that when someone comes to subscribe to your list, they're going to get a message. And I'm sure if you've ever subscribed to anything on the internet, you have gotten a message that says something like this. We've received your request for information from the Vanessa's test group. Before we begin sending you the information you requested, we want to be certain we have your permission. This is called a double opt-in. They're confirming their subscription. And there are reasons to use this and there are reasons not to use this. We'll go into that in just a little bit. What I want to do here, though, is I want to show you that I believe you want to edit this. It's real simple to click the edit button. Because we received your request for information from the Vanessa test group. I think that's kind of cheesy personally. So I change it and say, we received your request for information from Vanessa Duplessie to be added to her newsletter. Before we begin sending you information, we want to be sure we have your permission. So this way it reminds them what they're getting. You can add a custom closing down here. They have to click the link, but you can add a custom closing down here. And I usually say something like, I can't wait to, I can't wait to keep in touch. Talk soon. Vanessa. And then I usually will just put my web address in here to point them back so they can remember where they found me. Now, require opt-in on web forms. This is something that's going to happen if you have a website, and at this point in time, we don't need to worry about this, but if you wanted to turn this feature off when the time comes and someone's working with you, you just click the off button and say yes, and then this turns red. Don't need to worry about success page or anything like that. All you got to worry about is changing up this little confirmation area. Then you're going to hit Save Settings, and voila, your list is created. Your list is now yours. You will see it up here under Current List. Every autoresponder allows you to have multiple lists. You can have one for your team, one for prospects, one for customers. I have actually an email just for family members where all my family gets a newsletter on what's going on in our lives. So I use my autoresponder for my family too to keep them up to date and for close friends. But your current list that you're working in will be listed up here. So this is the list I'm working in, Vanessa's test. And I'm going to go ahead and check to see if we have any questions so far. Sally, it's good to see you here, my dear. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, cool. No questions yet. All right, so that was the setup of our list. The next two areas that are important for you to know about are how to send messages and how to check out who is actually subscribed to your list. So we're going to go over to messages right now. Under the messages area, right here, there are two main types of messages you can send. You can send a follow-up series, and what that means is that you can set up messages to go out without you having to send them. So they're kind of on autopilot, where you can set it up, and as soon as someone submits a request to join your newsletter, they get an automated series sent to them. I'm going to explain how I use the autoresponder in just a second. The second type of message is called a broadcast message, and that is basically where you come to the computer, you log into your autoresponder, you go to your list, you click broadcast, and you type a message one-off. It's a one-off, ooh, I want to send a message right now because I got something hot that came across my desk. So that's the difference. One is automated and pre-written and pre-planned. The other one is an on-the-fly type of email. You don't need to worry about the other items right now. Those are the main two. A follow-up series, I'm going to show you something really cool about a follow-up series. When you go to set up your first follow-up message, I usually set up just a message that says, hi, welcome to my newsletter. My name is Vanessa Duplessie. You're here because you came across my information either on my LinkedIn profile, on my Facebook profile, or on one of my web pages. I'm so glad you're here. Here's what you can expect when you receive my newsletter. And I basically welcome them. It's a welcome email. And I want that to go out automatically as soon as they hit submit. So in order to do that, you would hit create first follow-up. And when the AWeber actually pops up my first follow-up message, it's going to be very simply like sending an email. The template's coming up, so we'll let it load. It's basically insert your subject here, and then it's got a template area. So I insert my subject here, welcome to my newsletter. And then I'm going to come to this area down here. I clicked on it and it activated it when I clicked in the box. And I'm going to type in here, oops, that's not what I want right now. I'm going to type in here and it's going to say hi, and it says first name. You can populate it so it automatically does the first name if you want it to. And you're going to say welcome to my newsletter, just like I talked about. Type, type, type. I'm not going to type the whole letter. You're just going to type, and then you're going to do, sincerely, goodbye, whatever your sign-off is, and your name. What I want to show you is how simple it is. That's as simple as it is to type a message. You can test your message if you want to see what it looks like by hitting the test button. All autoresponders have a test. You can email this test to yourself as well if you wish, but I just like to see it on the screen. I'm going to hit the back button right now. But after you check out your message, you go to next, and it tells you your settings. The very first message, once I hit save and exit, the very first one, you don't have a lot of choice. It's just going to be the first message that's going to go out, and it's going to say send immediately. So the system knows to automatically send it when someone hits submit. This is what I want to show you. I want to show you how simple it can be to set up 4 or 5 emails if you have some training you want to send out, if you have something pre-planned where you want 3 or 4 messages to go out to the person the first time they register for your newsletter. So here you would create a follow-up again. You're going to add to the series. You're going to add to this series. So I hit create a follow-up. It's going to bring up the same page template for me as soon as AWeber pulls it up. And we're going to type in, day 1 training, let's say, whatever the message is going to be. Remember, I'm going to pop down here in the box. I'm going to type, 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 type. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sign off, pretend my message is good in the essence of time. And this is the cool part. When you hit next, it it's going to take you to the settings area. For messages 2 through infinity, you can choose when you want to send it. When you want to send it, not send it. It was sent. So number 2, you can say, I want it to go 1 day after the last one, or I want it to go 2 days after, or I want it to go 5 days after the last one. So if you want a message to go out every 24 hours for 3 days, and then have the 4th message go out 48 hours later, you can do that. And I personally think that's really, really cool. And I'll have Diane come out and talk a little bit about how and when you might want to use something like this. But it's simple. It does it all for you. You hit save, and now you're going to have your follow-up series or follow-up sequence all queued up. And as soon as AWeber brings us back to our area here, you're going to see, welcome to my newsletter is email number 1. It's going to be sent immediately. Number 2, day 1 training is going to be sent right now. I set it for 5 days after the previous message. And so this will allow you to time series a follow-up sequence. I'm going to show you a broadcast message really quick. A broadcast message, you go back to messages and you click on broadcast. The actual composition by clicking your first broadcast, and the composition of the message is going to be exactly the same as far as having a subject line and a body area. And so that's going to pop up here. And again, so MailChimp, GetResponse, AWeber, iContact all have very similar functionality. They each have a little bit of something that they do differently than the other because they got to differentiate. But what you're going to type in here is your subject. Something cool I just found out. So we type in our subject line, we come down here, and then we're going to type, hi, hi, first name, I just found out, Vanessa, or I'd say, I just found out I am doing a training tonight that you want to be aware of. Check it out here. I'm going to show you how to put a link in right now. I'm just going to type in a link to my blog for the moment because it's fastest for me to type. To put a link in, you type in the full link, then you come up a little bit to the toolbar area and you click the link button, and it'll validate your link to make sure it's a valid link, and now it's a clickable link in your email. So you'll do this in follow-up series or in a broadcast. So if I just found out I'm doing a training tonight that you want to be aware of, check it out here. Hope you can make it. And then you'd sign off, and you'd come down to the bottom, and you'd hit next. This is where it will show you the following. Any message that you send out through your autoresponder will have an archive so that you can come back and you can point people directly to that link, or you can point people to the feed for all of your messages ever sent through this autoresponder, and that's what these are here. So that's kind of neat. You can take this link after the email's gone out maybe to your potential prospects. You can take this link and you can put it on Facebook. It will automatically go to Twitter and Facebook, as we talked about earlier, where you can set it up so that you can post it to any one of your accounts kind of thing. I manage a lot of accounts, so I got a lot of accounts. But so, for example, I wanted it to go to Twitter, it'll post to Twitter for me. So that's on a broadcast, a little different than a follow-up. This is a cool tool. You'll see this on people's Facebook. You'll see, via AWeber. That's what this does. Then you'll hit the next button, and you have a choice. You can schedule it for later, which you come in here and you say schedule for later, and you say, I want to send this message tomorrow at, 9 a.m. And it tells you your time zone Pacific. So I hit set. So it's going to be scheduled to go out tomorrow. You can pre-schedule your messages for the week. Let's say you're going to be on vacation. Let's say you're going to not be home tonight and you want to get this message out for the training. You can do it, as far in advance as you really want. I don't believe there's a limit. Usually broadcasts are used on the fly. I'm going to send a message out to my newsletter today because something came up. But if you're going to be out and you know there's an announcement tomorrow you need them to see, you can schedule this. You can also choose other lists that you may have, and you can send the same message to more than one list at a time. Then you hit schedule and queue. And then what will happen is back in your list, it's going to show you scheduled. Something cool I just found out, scheduled for 3/10/14 at 8 a.m. Pacific time. And there you go. One thing I'm going to show you guys right now, I'm going to go check the Q&A area. Let's see, we got folks telling us we're using Aweber. We got hi Diane. I have one, not so sure that I'm using it. It's not my strength. Well, Kate, we'll give you some more tips tonight as we cruise along here. Yes, it's being recorded. Okay, here's a question. If you create a follow-up series, you know what? I'm going to get to that in a minute. Let me finish what I want to do on my training, and then we'll take questions. Let's do that. Last thing I want to show you, that way it's all concise here before we jump into cool stuff. Subscribers. Managing subscribers. We don't have any subscribers at this moment, so let's get some by doing the following things. You can add subscribers manually, or you can put a sign-up form on your site. Most people are going to add subscribers manually. Manually add up to 10 subscribers. You can import more than 10 at a time. These folks will be required to confirm. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a subscriber here. I'm going to add myself actually. And my email. And when you manually add someone, it's going to ask you. It's the ad tracking says control panel. This means that you know you manually added them. This is for people who are tracking where they're getting their subscribers from. But that's all that really is. So this is saying that this came from the control panel, which means I manually put them in. But you can designate which message you want people to get once you add them and you hit submit for them. They can get the standard auto response, or they can not receive any of the follow-ups and get the broadcast-only messages that you send one of. So what's going to happen is I'm going to hit Add Subscriber, and voila, I've added my first person to my list. You can do this with anybody who gives you their email. So now when I go back to subscribers and I go to Manage Subscribers, it's going to pop up here. Come on. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Not moving for me. Let's go to Add Subscribers. I'm going to add subscriber. It's in there, and I think I'm going to have to confirm it, so I'm going to do 2 tests so you can see the difference. Now I'm going to hit Add Subscriber. All right, okay, here we go. The subscriber has been added to the Vanessa test list, so I don't think we saw that on the first one. Remember, only add people who ask you to add them. They're asking you to be cognizant. You don't go out and you don't want to spam people. But if I go to Manage Subscribers, looks like the first one didn't take. There it is, Vanessa Test, Vanessa Duplessie at gmail.com. Confirmation pending. This means they have not completed their little click to say, yes, I want to be a part of your list. So you're going to just say, hey, I'm going to add you to my newsletter. Make sure you hit the confirmation button. What I'm going to go do right now is I am going to go and via my phone right now, because my email's already up here, I'm going to go confirm so you can see what it will look like as soon as I confirm. All right, I got my little confirm here, and it's going through, and it says your subscription, on my end as the user, it says your subscription has been confirmed. On my end as the list owner, I am going to refresh. Aha, now it says, if I were to show all, let's say I had multiple, so, oh, here's the other one. Here's Vanessa Test. Subscribe today at 9:31 p.m. It tells you what day and time the person subscribed. Here's my other one that shows confirmation pending. So if you just come in here to the subscriber area and you can manually add someone, you can easily, 10 seconds and you can add someone. Then you want to check out if they came and confirmed or not, or if you need to go nudge them, you can hit Manage Subscribers and you'll see the list. So it's really as simple as that to get a list started, to get a list functioning, to get messages out to people, and to begin to build your newsletter, or what I like to call my influence list of people who I can connect with much easier than having to try to reach out one at a time. Now, this business is about relationships, and we are always reaching out one at a time. But if I want to get something out today to 100 people, I don't have time to email them one at a time, and I may not want to go through my Gmail and add them one at a time as well. I just want to come in here, and out it goes. So that is what I wanted to share at its core level of using an autoresponder. Anil, I'm going to welcome you back out. Please
Great.
come on and chat
Thank
with me.
you.
Let me know, do you need me to cover anything else? Do you want to move to questions? What do you think?
No, I thought that was amazing. That was really, really good. I know when I first came online, I wish somebody had showed this to me because I had to figure this all out by myself. But that was fantastic, and really appreciate that. I took a whole bunch of notes myself. I totally forgot about the Twitter integration. I thought it was only Facebook. Um, so very valuable.
Awesome. Cool.
Yes, we do have some questions, but I think we'll handle those at the very end if that's cool with you.
Yep, that's fine. No problem. Diane,
Vanessa?
let's talk a little bit. I hear my kids kind of wrestling outside, and so let's talk a little bit about, now that I've shown you how kind of it works, how do we want to use it?
Well, it's funny. I want you and Anil to hang out, but if your kids show up, hey, I'm a mama, you're a mama. Mine are a little bigger now. They just ask for money instead of needing my time. But, I want both of you guys to hang out, and let's talk a little bit. First of all, hello, it's Diane Hochman, for any of you that haven't met me before. I've been in network marketing for 15 years, and it's really interesting because there's a lot of schools of thought about internet marketing in combination with network marketing. We coined the term online networker. Unless somebody else coined it before me, I'm not aware of it. But we coined the term online networker because I believe we're a special breed. We are network marketers, but we love to use the internet to reach out and share our message with more people. And in fact, globally, and the internet allows us to do that globally. So you're going to find different people in network marketing and different groups and different philosophies. Some people are like, go for it, run wild, and I see them teaching some things that maybe are not very helpful to their teams. They're out doing some kind of, I call it slamma-jamma. They're hitting like every group and all over, kind of spamming all over. And then there's other groups that say, don't use an autoresponder, don't go on the internet, you got to go belly to belly. And then there's people like us, and we're kind of what we call the hybrid. But what I find also is that a lot of network marketers, people that come to the table wanting to build a network marketing organization, wanting to duplicate, wanting to recruit, what happens is they get caught up in all this internet marketing stuff, and there's nothing wrong with it, guys. I know both sides of the fence. But if you get caught up with highly technical, and Vanessa's technical, Anil's I mean, come on, Anil's nickname is the iNerd, these are technical people that I am, on the other hand, not very technical. But these are people that know their way around a computer, know their way around technology, and yet they understand very clearly that when we take actions in order to generate leads or to recruit people that other people can't do, in the short run, we might do well. But in the long run, we're not creating that duplication over duplication over duplication, duplicating into depth, that creates that walk-away residual income, the mailbox money that you hear about, that is kind of like a fantasy to so many. I'm here to tell you that it's true and it's real. But there's a certain way that you have to use these tools, and there's a certain way that you need to communicate that makes them effective for network marketing, which is very different than internet marketing. So Vanessa, first of all, thank you. And guys, those of you that ask questions, we will cover them, okay? We're going to cover them in a couple minutes. But I want to talk to you guys a little bit about, and I'll take the screen in a second, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about autoresponders and how to build a list that is going to listen to you, that's going to open your links, click on your links. It's going to show up to your events. I mean, let's face it, guys, if you had an event for your program and you could get 10, 15, 20 people on it, what would happen to your business? It'd be pretty darn good. What do you guys think? It'd be pretty darn good, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And if you could communicate with the different people, and I'm going to talk about the different circles that you want to be communicating with, what would happen is it would get pretty exciting because you'd be able to communicate in mass. Now, when I first started all of this stuff back about 2005, I'm going to take the screen here. Yeah. And my screen right now is just kind of blank. Vanessa, I'm drawing pictures. Get scared, get frightened.
I was going to say, that does scare me. Your drawing is, I hate to say it, it's not as good as your typing, so.
My drawing is getting better, though, on this little tool. This is Paint on a PC. Most of these people are Mac people because they're very fancy. I, on the other hand, am still sticking to my PC because that's what I learned on. That's what I'm sticking to. What can I tell you? You have different audiences in your network marketing career, okay? The first one is your hot market. Okay, hot market. We're going to draw some. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Wait, back up. Let's hit the undo button. Isn't the undo button, where is the undo? Oh, there it is. The undo button, God's gift to women like me. I'm just saying, it's God's gift to women like me. Okay?
Too bad we didn't have one for life.
I know, right? Yeah. I know, right? Undo!
That's the do-over.
I would like that. Something comes out of your mouth and it's really wrong and really bad.
Yeah.
You're like, undo!
Undo.
Okay, your hot market. Who is your hot market? Who are they? What do they mean? Okay, and I could send you this up and make it pretty, but you guys get the picture. Your hot market is people that love you, people that know you very well, often people that grew up with you or that you've lived with, and people that on any given occasion would like to make fun of you if they could. So, Vanille, in your life, name one person in your hot market.
That would be like my cousin Tina.
Your cousin Tina, and she would love to pick on you and make fun of you because you guys grew up together.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yep, and she does anyway.
Yeah, and she does, right?
Yeah.
And let me ask you, if you were in trouble, would Tina come to help you right away?
Absolutely.
Yeah, she'd be there in 2 seconds flat, right? Vanessa, in your life, who is somebody in your hot market?
My best friend, Jane.
Jane. So Jane knows every little nuance about you, doesn't she?
Even my natural hair color.
Really? I don't know that. I want to know. Tell me later when I see you. So Jane knows your natural hair color. She probably knows what you look like when you have a few too many glasses of wine. She probably knows what you're like when you lose it with your kids. She probably knows things about your earlier years that maybe nobody should know.
Absolutely.
And again, ask you the question, if you were in trouble, would she come to help you right away?
In a heartbeat.
Yeah. Guys, every single person, see, when we get into network marketing, we start to talk about friends and family, and a lot of people think I'm going to pester the people that I care about, and they're going to pick on me, and they're going to make fun of me. And I got to tell you the truth, when I started in network marketing in 1999, we did that. We went and irritated everybody we knew, because that's what they told us to do. And it was kind of weird. But what I do now is I teach people to go to the people that love them, and saying, here's one way to use an autoresponder, okay, your hot market list, which would be to say to the people that love you, hey, listen, you know I blankety blank blank. You know I want to be home with the kids. You know I'm, like in Anil's case, he travels a lot. You know I'm a little tired of traveling. You know I want to pursue my music, my art, whatever it may be. You know I blankety blank blank. I started a part-time home business so that I can build up some revenue so I could do that. Would it be okay if I put you on a newsletter in case you know anyone I can help? I'm going to say those words again. You might want to jot them down. You know I want to stay home with the kids. I know you love me. Would it be okay if I put you on an email newsletter so I can send you info about what I'm up to in case you know someone I could help? Tell me that anybody that cares about you will say no to that. And if they do say no to that, you didn't ask it the way I told you to just ask it. So you can take an autoresponder and make one autoresponder list your hot market. These are people that love you, that are likely to give you a hard time and tease you, but at the same time, if you let them know what you're up to, they will open their ears and start to notice everybody that says, I'm tired, I'm fat, my knees hurt, whatever your product is, I want to be home with the kids, I want to make extra money. Their ears are going to perk up, and they're going to notice everybody that says one of those things that would be helpful to you, and they're actually very likely to refer people to them. If you don't pester them, if you don't do this, if you don't do all the things that is stigmatic about this industry, if you would put them on an autoresponder, every time you come out with a new product or there's something new going on in your space, and you send out a note, this list I would mail twice a month maybe. And when you send them a note, we just came out with a new product. It's good for people with an extra big toe. If you know anybody that has a big toe, would you forward this to them? And I'm joking about the big toe, but I'm being facetious. What's the product good for, right? And if you sent them that email and you got, I don't know, 50 people on this list, you don't even need 50, 25, whatever. Every time you sent out something to them, you'd have so many people on your side looking for people for you. And that is an extremely valuable way to use an autoresponder. Now, here's what's cool. You don't need fancy internet pages to use an autoresponder this way. All you have to say is it okay? Let me have your email address. And you can go enter their email address manually into your autoresponder. Okay? Hot market. Now, any of you guys that don't have a hot market list, you're being silly. If you're in network marketing, and here's what everybody used to be like, Vanessa, I remember I'd come home from convention, they'd have a new product. The new product would be, I don't know, smelly butt powder. I don't know what, it would always be some new product, right? And I'd write a letter to that list, and all of a sudden, some of the people that loved me would buy it, and then they would send it to other people they knew that needed that product. And I would sell 100 of them within a week. And everybody would be like, how did you do that? Because everybody else would be dialing people and pestering them again. I'd send out an email and say, hey, I just got back from this thing. They came out with a new product. It's really good for this, this, and that. There was one lady who had this result and another lady who had this. If you know anyone who needs that, please forward this or have them give me a shout. And all of a sudden, my 25 people on this list that love me would tell a bunch of people, and I would sell 100 bottles. And everybody would be stunned, and they'd think I had magical powers. No, I just understood who this market was. Don't ask them to buy anything. Don't bug them. Okay, excuse me, I should lie about that. I'm lying. You can ask them to buy something from you because you can call up your sister and go, look, I'm in another thing. You know you love me. Give me your credit card. Be my first customer. You can do that with these people. But then after that, you put them on a list and you ask them for help. That's it. Don't try to get them into your business. Don't try to sign them up. They remember when you were 12 and you failed at whatever. Okay? So hot market. And let me show you a technique here that's important. That's really cool. And a lot of people love this one. Many people pass out when I teach them this. If you are using Aweber as an autoresponder or GetResponse, and by the way, Vanessa went through an overview, guys. Pick an autoresponder. And obviously, they have tremendous training. I've used Aweber for 10 years. I know a lot of people use GetResponse. They have great setup training. Tonight was not intended to train you how to use an autoresponder, although I saw a couple of good questions and we will cover them. Tonight was intended to give you simple, easy, duplicatable list building techniques. Think about it, guys. You may be thinking, okay, even if I get 25 people that are in my hot market on a list, what does that mean? Well, if you have a team of 20 people and everybody has 25 people on their list and you all come back from convention and you all send out this well-written letter saying, hey, could you give me a hand? Everybody's going to move anywhere from 25 to 100 bottles. Do you understand how much volume that is for your team? Do you understand how exciting that is? Do you understand how many ranks your team is going to pop because of what goes on at these moments? It is profound. It is profound. Now, you can't call Aunt Sally every quarter and bug her. You can't call Aunt Sally and it gets a little weird. You can send Aunt Sally an email and say this is what's going on, and Aunt Sally will tell all her little friends that need XYZ. Now here's a way to get people on your list that is very, very simple. If you don't know how to build, we haven't covered tonight capture pages or capture forms or blogs or any of the ways that people think they need to do it. All you have to do is say to someone, hey, open up your email program. They can do this on their phone. I capture leads all day long when I'm out. Like we'll be at an event or something. I'll say, hey, you got your phone? Open up your email. They'll go, yeah. Send a blank email. Send a blank email. This is the directions you give them. Send a blank email to list name at, and in my case it's aweber.com, or it could be getresponse.com. I don't know if it works for MailChimp. Do you know, Ness?
I don't know off the top of my head. That's what I'm saying. Some have different features that have a little nuance, but I know for sure it does a GetResponse and an Aweber.
Yeah, it does work.
But if you saw,
yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, but if you saw how simple, if you can grab their email, you saw how simple it was for me to just go in and add it. It took 10 seconds.
Right. So you can grab their email and throw it in, or you can say to somebody, are you in front of your computer? Do you have your phone? Like if you're sitting over coffee with your cousin, hey, where's your phone? Take it out. Open up your email. Send a blank email to list name, whatever your list name is, at aweber.com. She's going to be on your list. And you can do this everywhere you go. It is one of the easiest ways under the sun to build your list. Okay? So we have hot market. The next market we have is warm market. Okay, this is warm.
She's drawing circles.
Yep, warm. Different kind of circles, but this is warm market. These are people that you've met on Facebook. Like right now, if I were to go through the attendees on this webinar, I'll just do that for a minute, just for fun. And I'll look through a whole bunch of you I know. Let's see. You're warm market. You're not my best friend. You didn't grow up with me. We haven't, gone on vacation together. But if I were to go through, and guys, please don't feel bad if I don't say your name. It's just because I don't really know you yet. I'd love to. Angela, warm market. Arnita's warm market. Bernadette's warm market. Bill's warm market. Brian's warm market. Bridget, Carrie, Chris, Chuck, Cindy, Dan. I can go through. Darian, Willie, David. I could run through this list. Debbie, blah 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 blah. And I'm only up to D's. But I can sit here. Most of you guys are warm market to me. You know who I am. I know who you are. I can't tell you when your birthday is unless Facebook tells me. I'll be truthful. And I can't tell you what your favorite color is. But I do know who you are. A lot of you guys, I know where you live. I know a little bit about you. If you have a cute dog, I know who your dog is. If you have babies, like Angela has beautiful girls, I've seen pictures. You are warm market. Warm market, the same thing. A lot of people are busy trying to run campaigns and do all this internet marketing stuff. I'm out there meeting people. It's crazy, Vanessa and Anil. It's really crazy. You know what that's called, meeting people? You know what it's called?
Uh-oh. No.
Networking.
Oh.
Okay.
I knew you were going there. It took me a minute.
It's called networking. So I meet someone. It's, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. What are you up to? This and that. And then my line is, again, you might want to write this down. Hey, I have a great newsletter. It might be really helpful to you, helpful for your business. Would you like to be on it? Hey, I have a great newsletter. I send out great tips about building your business. Might be helpful to you. Would you like to be on it? No, I don't want to be on your list. I don't want to learn new things. I certainly don't want to be successful. Nobody says that. Everybody says yes. And here's the thing. You got to believe your list is going to be good. You got to work at this. But if I say to somebody, hey, I have a great newsletter. I send out great tips on building your business. Would you like to be on it? They're going to say yes. And then I get to say, and this is warm market, and then I get to say, great, let me have your email. Can you jot it down? Or can you send it to me? Or are you at your computer or phone right now? Send a blank email to listname@aweber.com. Boom. Now, while everybody's busy playing with all these techniques that they're learning, I'm gathering leads all day, every day. It's that easy. You can do it out and about. You can do it on Facebook. You can do it on Twitter. You can do it on YouTube, on your videos. You know, you guys can say on videos, hey guys, I have a great, at the end of your video, do a training. I have a great newsletter. I send out great stuff. Send a blank email to listname@aweber.com. You could be building your list so fast it'll make your head spin if you wanted to. It's that easy. Now, how do I know this junk? I've been around since before capture pages were available. There are like 6 guys that knew HTML, and they all charged like $400 an hour. I was a broke housewife. I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a capture page. I didn't know how to have a capture page. I knew how to get people on my list, and I knew how to write my list, and I knew how to get people to events, to click on links, and to buy things. So hot market, warm market, and then the last one, I should move this over. Let's see if I can move my circle. Can I move my circle? I probably can, but I don't know how to. I'll do it anyway. Last circle down here is cold market. Okay? These are people that you don't know and people that don't know you. These are generally people that you're advertising to. Okay? You're advertising on Facebook, you're advertising with a solo ad, you're advertising with a classified ad, etc. And these people are generally going to be the roughest leads you can possibly deal with. If you are in network marketing, guys, I can't encourage you enough to work over here. Hot and cold. I mean, excuse me, hot and warm. Okay? Can't encourage. Now, it used to be hot, and then we'd work with warm people we met. Nowadays, because we can be on Facebook and stuff, it's very easy to build a really great warm market. In fact, guys, write this down. We're almost done. And this is so important. And this is what they don't tell you. Network marketing is a warm market business. You can fight it. You can resist it. You can complain about it. You can kick and scream. You can go out on the internet and try to find strangers and recruit them all. I promise you, you will not build depth. The key to network marketing is to work inside of a warm market, and the magic of the internet is it allows you to continually build bigger warm markets and bigger warm markets. There right now, my warm market, Vanessa, how many people would you estimate my warm market is? Ballpark.
Ooh. Oh my goodness, thousands.
Thousands and thousands and I dare say I have at least a 5-figure warm market, and I think that would be modest.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can develop, the magic of online networking is you're able to build, and we'll talk about this in the weeks to come about how to develop that warm market. But you can develop a hot market list and a warm market list doing just this fun little stuff here. This stuff. Send a blank email. Can I get your email? Are you interested? And I'm not saying we're not going to talk about capture pages and funnels. We will. Simple ones. But as soon as you get too complicated, your team can't do it. And as soon as your team can't do it, you're done. Can you please tell that to some of my friends? Everybody always asks me why I keep it so simple, why I teach this stuff. Everybody's like, well, can you teach us one of your other ninja tricks? I'm like, that's all I know. They're like, what do you mean? Well, generally speaking, I talk to people on Facebook during the day. I network. I meet people. I get a relationship with them, and I say, hey, I have a really great newsletter. Would you like to be on it? It'll help you out with your business. And then I write to my newsletter via my autoresponder, and I share with them different tidbits, interesting things, helpful things, products they can buy, and my network marketing opportunity. And when I do, I am never, ever, ever at a loss for sales and recruits. It's magical, and it's that terribly simple. So, Anil, Vanessa, that's what I wanted to share tonight, that it doesn't have to be complicated to be effective. Your autoresponder allows you, this list over here, the warm market, you can build into the thousands easily, quickly, magically. And so can your team. And if you start to think about it, if I were to take my team right now Team Excellence, my team, and I were to compile everybody that we have on a list in our warm market, I'd probably be able to tell 100,000 people that we have an event going on, which is really not too darn bad since most people are struggling to get 2 people to an event. Most people just, or a presentation. Most people just don't realize how simple, truly simple it can be. And that's why we call this online networkers paradise, because it truly is paradise. It's taking online concepts and applying them to network marketing, keeping it fun, simple, magical, and duplicatable, so that we can all enjoy the magic of mailbox money, residual income, and all the things. I was the idiot that in 1999, when they told me all that was possible, I actually believed them. I sat there in my chair in my meeting, and I went, I'm going to do it. I didn't know how. And then as technology evolved, I just kept using new technology. I was one of the first adopters at my program for an autoresponder. I was one of the first adopters in the whole industry for video. I was one of the first adopters of different kinds of mobile technologies, but never, ever, ever leaving the concepts and ideas of being an online networker, which was to keep it extra simple. Because if somebody on my team couldn't do what I did, I was done. I was done. So I'm going to toss it back to you, Anil and Vanessa, and see, there might be some questions and different things we'll check in case there's anything for me before I take off. You guys close out with autoresponder questions. And I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. I'm hoping this is helpful, and I'm hoping if you are starting to understand that network marketing is different than internet marketing. An online network is different than internet marketing. It's a different thought process. And later on we'll talk about how you can create threads where you can put affiliate marketing with internet marketing, but never losing sight. I see so many people, they're busy making $7 commissions and forgetting to recruit people into their network marketing company, forgetting to build that downline, forgetting to build the team. So you don't want to get confused. Our job here is to keep it simple. Simple, 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 that all of you can follow it. So Mr. Anil, take it away. And by the way, guys, if you don't know Anil Gunjal and Vanessa Duplessie, let me tell you, these are 2 of the classiest, smartest people I have met in my career. It's such a great honor to work with them. They are tremendous leaders. Plus, God knows my computer breaks at least once a day, and I don't know what to do. And without these 2, I'd be nowhere. I want to thank you guys. You're an asset to our organization and an asset to the industry. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much, Diane. It's great to work with you also. It's been awesome. So
I definitely second that. Hey, Anil, we got some questions that might be for Diane before she pops off, because I know she's catching a plane early in the morning.
Yep,
I'm looking at this now. Do you have separate pages in Facebook from Hot, Warm, Cold? No, Lorraine, I have one Facebook profile. It's called Diane Hochman. And I have one Facebook business page, and that's called Diane Hochman Training. Guys, I'm me. I'm who I am. I don't have multiple pages. And again, for network marketing, I encourage you guys to just brand yourself. I know that's controversial, but as far as establishing yourself as a professional networker, you don't need a bunch of different pages by far. The verbiage. The hot market, Jim, with hot market, you really got to be chill. Like, if I'm talking to my college roommate who's ready to just absolutely explode and make fun of me because I'm selling diet pills or something, I'm going to say something. I'm going to be like really straight, and I'm going to go, look, I know you're going to make fun of me, but you also know that I ran up a whole bunch of credit card debt, and I need to dig my family out because I'm not letting my kids be stuck when it's time for college. So I want you to do me a favor. I need you to be on my email list so you know about what I'm doing in case you know anybody I know. Can I put you on the list, and can I count on you to help me out? Okay, now I know those words are different than what I said before, because it depends on who you're talking about. If it's Aunt Sally, it's Aunt Sally. I know I wanted to be home with the kids, and I found a home business that I'm working on part-time. Hopefully I'll be full-time by next year. Would it be okay if I put you on my email newsletter so you know what I'm up to in case you know anyone I can help? Okay, that line, in case you know anyone I can help. Or the other verbiage of that is so you can help me help some people. Works every time. Works every, I use those two lines at least 10 times a day. Well, great. If this isn't for you, I appreciate that. Is it okay if I keep you up to date on what I'm doing? Like if somebody turns me down, awesome. So this is not the right match for you. Great. Well, you're on my newsletter. You know what's going on. Is it cool if I keep you on there in case you run into somebody else I might be able to help? Plus, I send out things that might be helpful to you anyway. I'm always saying to people, is it okay if you help me help other people? So that's very good. Where can we get the recording? Diana, we're setting up a page for them. We have one from last week and one from this week. Just check back with the person that invited you here because they've been given access to them. We have them on a YouTube channel and stuff, but I want to, they have the right to put them on their blogs and stuff too, some of the teams. So how do we build warm market online? Guys, we're going to do a whole webinar on that, building your warm market online. In fact, what do you say, Vanessa and Anil, what do you think, next week, building your warm market online?
I think that makes perfect sense.
Yep.
All right, so I think we'll go to that next week. Angela, I'm glad, because Angela, this is the fundamentals. This is what we knew before we had all the fancy stuff. It's so simple, and that's why a lot of times internet marketers can't make heads or tails of me, because the reality is I'm an online networker. I'm not an internet marketer, so I think a little different than other people. Amina, we will talk about writing letters and putting things in your autoresponder at a later date. This is just to give you an overview. But here's a rule of thumb. Write about things that would be helpful to someone. So, for example, if you guys are selling a health or wellness product, it's always great to talk about, stories and success stories and things that are helpful, or recipes or ideas. If you're selling, if you're doing home business stuff, most of my newsletters are about home business ideas and concepts and tools and training that would help someone in a home business. So, there you go. I'm just looking to see anything else.
I think we can take some of the tech questions from here, yeah. Diane.
I'm not going to do any tech questions, I promise you. Yeah. Guys, here's the good news. This is a whole series. We're going to be back each week on Monday nights. Please feel free. Hopefully you trust us by now. Please feel free to bring people down. We are doing this because we realize there's a lot of confusion in the marketplace. A lot of people that are network marketers are trying to learn internet marketing to build their network marketing business. And while there are components of internet marketing that are very helpful, internet marketing is not the answer. I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, Vanessa, but internet marketing is not the answer to building a downline using the internet. So this whole series will probably go about 12 weeks. We'll see. If you guys show up and if you bring people, if there's bodies here, if people are on the line, we're going to keep teaching. If there's not people here, we'll say the marketplace is spoken. So we had a great turnout tonight. Bring people down next week. It's the same link. We'll get it to you again. But bring people down because we're going to be teaching every week how to keep it simple, how to keep it duplicatable, how to build that team, how to invite people to your events, how to get people to look at your opportunities, how to handle objections, how to eliminate objections. Forget about it. I don't even need to handle them. There's all kinds of things that we're going to teach you. So I'm going to sign off. I'm going to toss it back to Anil and Vanessa. I love you guys. I thank everybody. I'm heading out in the morning to Dallas, Texas. I'm hoping they warm it up down there for me. And I will see all of you guys next week on Monday. Everybody take care. Anil, back to you.
Thank you. All right. We want to just run through the questions real quick and then let everybody go. Vanessa, did you see any questions in there that we need to answer?
I did. So Wally and A. Weber, can you move people to a different list or two. Let's go ahead and grab my screen back so Diane's not actually in her email. So let's go change the presenter back to me and share my screen. Okay. Oops. Uh-oh. There we go. All right. Anil, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So Wally asked if you can move people from one list to another. Yes, that's a little bit more advanced and not the basics of getting started. But yes, you can. We can cover that when we do more advanced items within autoresponders. If you need it now, there are tutorials in the Aweber video tutorial area.
And the easiest way
along there.
The easiest way is you can have the same person on multiple lists. So if they want to join another list of yours, they can just get added to that also.
Yep, and you can unsubscribe them, but we'll deal with that when we get to the more advanced stuff. I'm just cruising up here. Let's see here. Okay, I use Aweber. Okay, Angela, the problem with someone starting with something free then moving to something paid can be that they lose their subscribers when they move. Can Vanessa advise on this one? Comment. Depends on how big of a list you plan to grow, and the MailChimp functionality now starts off as free, and they have paid versions. So you can stay and remain with MailChimp forever and ever and ever and have great functionality. Moving someone from one autoresponder to another is tricky, and one of the best things to do if you want to do that is you have to be able to prove to the new autoresponder that these people were already confirmed on a previous list and that you wanted to migrate them over. If you don't talk to someone and just try to move them manually, you will get people that don't reconfirm, and you do lose subscribers. So the best thing to do is get with customer service and say, hey, look, I've got a 5,000 person list, I got a 1,000 person list over here, whatever the case may be. I want to move them to you. I do not want them to have to reconfirm. And, you know, depending on who you talk to and what type of list you have and what not, you can see what they can do for you. So that is a challenge, but MailChimp now has done a whole lot over the last few years to increase their functionality, whereby you can start off free and continue through their paid version. Spam score, Wally. Different words in messages will classify a spam score, and Aweber has a tutorial on that. And so if you're below, I think it's a 5, you're fine to send your message. It's just like on a scale of 1 to 10, whether or not your message will get delivered on the other end. They're trying to help you from a deliverability perspective. Sally, can you schedule messages to go out at 1 p.m. local time, wherever the sub is in the world, rather than U time? You know what? I know that normally you want to keep them and let them run at the time the person actually subscribes. So, for example, if I'm a night owl and I subscribe to your newsletter at 2 a.m., the subsequent messages will go out in a follow-up series at 2 a.m. If, in fact, you are sending a broadcast message and you want it to go out at a particular time, I don't think you can do it. I don't remember if you can do it by IP or not in Aweber specifically. Anil, do you know that one?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I know that you can schedule to have all messages go out at 6 a.m. Eastern time or 9 a.m. Eastern time, whatnot. But I don't recall if you can say based on IP address what time the message can go out. That would be something I would call Aweber on and ask them. If you create a follow-up series to an existing list, do the new subs get the series, or do your existing subs also get it? The new subscribers will get the follow-up series. The old subscribers, I believe there's a function that allows you to push the messages out to them. I'm not sure that you necessarily would want to do that. It would depend on what the follow-up sequence or follow-up series is. But yes, all new subscribers will receive the new follow-up series. I don't see anything else up that way. All right, let's go back down to the bottom. What is the process for moving a list from one particular provider to another? We just talked about that. Do you have to send them an opt-in email to receive information from you? Depends on how, if you're manually adding someone, or if you're using the trick of list name at aweber.com, for example, they will have to do an email confirmation. The only time you can bypass an email confirmation is if you are using a web form on a web page somewhere, like so if you have a blog, for example. The only caveat to that is if you are using a third party. So for example, they are coming off maybe a tab on a Facebook landing page, Facebook is going to require them to also do a confirmation. So any third party that you might host a page on, like Facebook through an app, it will require a confirmation. So that gets a little more techy and a little more advanced on the internet side of things, Diana. But we can talk about that in future sessions. Emily, we talked about we are setting up a page for previous trainings. Get back to the person who invited you here and ask them how to access the recording. Do I think it's worth leaving AWeber due to their most recent denial of service of text? I will not leave AWeber. I've been with AWeber for years. I actually worked for a security company in the Bay Area for a couple of years, and it happens. Denial of service attacks happen everywhere, so it's not a function of, yeah, it was a rough week last week for those of us who had AWeber, but I don't think it's the end-all, be-all, if you will. So it hurt a lot of marketers, but long-term, I don't think it's an issue for AWeber. Anil, you want to address that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I came from the IT field, and you know that happens all the time, and there's just really nothing in their control, and you know they did what they had to do, but then another autoresponder got hit, you know, a few days later. So I just think AWeber is probably one of the best in what they do, and now that they've been hit already, in fact, they'll beef up their security, and it won't happen again. So I would stick with them.
Yep. So, all right, everybody. That looks like the end of questions. I don't see anything else coming in. Anil, it is always a pleasure to hang out with you. It's always a lot of fun. I love having, you know, I'm techie and I like getting techie, but I love marketing and I love people, and so it was fun to hang out.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks for that valuable information. And I'm sure everybody will really use that, and we'll have some follow-up webinars on this same topic. So have a great night.
Oh, one question just came in from Allie real quick. Do you ever segment? Yes, segmenting is something we'll discuss in more advanced trainings. Again, tonight was about super simple how to get started with your autoresponder and why you need one.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
All right, everybody. Peace out. Good night.